this video, we are going to understand what is the need of a JSON component annotation used in Spring Boot, right? So we will also address what is the need to customize the JSON, right? We all know that internally Spring Boot uses JSON library for object to JSON conversion, right? If that is the case, then why do we need to customize the JSON, right? We know that JSON is a human readable format of transferring data from the client to the server, right? We know that the client will have at least 40% of the weightage of the application, right? So whenever there is a request response from the client and the server, the JSON comes into picture, wherein the JSON is sent as a request and JSON is received as a response. Because of this, the applications become lightweighted and the speed, the fast, I mean, the performance of the application will drastically improve. This is the reason people use JSON in any web application. So I will not get into the details of how JSON is important in any web application, right? So in this format, you can see this is a normal key value pair kind of a thing, right? You can see number one, name, Scott, designation manager, gender, male, etc. So this is the sample JSON that we have taken, and there is something called instant that you can see here on the screen, right? So this is not in a JSON format. So at this particular time, we need some JSON conversion, right? Because Spring Boot by default cannot perform this. So we have a application to demo for you, right? So which does this particular job, right? So I have a application, an example called Spring Boot example, right? So here I will start showing you some of the class files that we have written. First thing I'll show you is probably um, I will show you where is that application.properties first thing, right? So I am using a server.port 8787, right? So this is the port that we'll be using. So starting with Spring Boot config.java, this is a sample a Spring Boot application which has at Spring Boot application annotation, right? So if you want more details about at Spring Boot application annotation, you can click on the above link and it will explain you and it will give you more details about at Spring Boot application, right? I'll not get into the details of that. So the next thing that we are supposed to see is employee controller. This is again another uh, request mapping, that is the REST. Okay, and you can click on the above link to get more information about the REST call, right? We in a nutshell, to explain you, if you have an annotation at REST controller and if you hit the server with slash get employees with localhost colon port name with slash get employees with REST, you will get the list of employees, ideally. Okay, this is about employee controller class. Going forward, you have something called date converter. So this is the date that I was talking about, yyyy-MM-dd format. So this is what we are supposed to convert. So here you can see a JSON component annotation that we have used, and we have written a class, right? So there's nothing much in this class. There are only two methods. There are two static methods, to be specific. One is serialize and another one is deserialize. This is a standard class that we have written. There's nothing much here. This is just a converter, right? This is just a converter, and it extends a JSON serializer class, right? So this is about date converter. There's nothing much here. We'll provide you the code as well. Okay, so going forward, you have another class called employee.java. In employee.java, I have a couple of variables by name, number, name, okay, designation, and gender. Things I have some getters and setters, okay, and you have a constructor, right? You, for example, for number you have get number, set number, and for name you have get name, set name, etc. And same thing applies for designation and gender. We have used something called instant, and this class implements serializable right? We all know about serializable, right? right? So I'm not getting into the details of that, right? So this is a simple class, there's nothing much here. And you have again a list wherein we are adding the name, number, okay, the designation and gender in an array list. Okay, so ideally this information that we are passing here we should be getting on the browser, right? Get it? So this is all about the class files. There are only 4 class files. Among these, two are just sample, I mean the basic classes. One is Spring Boot config, right? Employee controller, just with slash get employees. This is the date converter. This is very standard. And employee.java, right, with 4 variables and one list consumer, right? So let's run this application and see what happens. So I will go to Spring Boot config.java because it has at Spring Boot application annotation, right? So after this I'll click on right click, run as Java application. Once we hit this, we should go and see what's happening in the console. Ideally this should be starting our applications, right? Starting Spring Boot config. Okay, started Spring Boot config. Okay, let's see where is slash get employees, if it has got mapped. Okay, so here it is. It has got mapped to slash get employees, right? So let's see what happens in the browser. Okay, as I said you. Okay, cool. So 8787 is the port that I showed you, and slash get employees is uh, the rest call that we are making, and it is a get. Okay, so here you can see the yyyy-MM-dd format. So internally what happened is the JSON component annotation has converted for this particular format, even though the format was not right. Correct? So this is all about JSON component annotation. Thank you for watching this video. Please drop in your questions in the comment section, and please click on like and subscribe the channel for more information. Thank you very much.